A live look into our nation's capital. A big deal, a big view right there as we take a look into D.C. We've got a world-class celebration that's going to be celebrating America's 250th birthday, talking about the Great American State Fair, set to last all the way to July 10th. Everybody loves a good state fair for the month of July, and we've got Fox News correspondent Mark Meredith joining us from the fair with the latest. I'd say it's funny. It's already feeling like about 80 degrees. It's a little humid out there. It's going to be heating up. But, I mean, the big challenge, Mark, as we move forward is that this heat pales into comparison to what we're going to have by the time we get into Thursday especially. How does the fair get ready to deal with that?
Well, Marissa, you're filled with good news right there. You're telling me it's going to get worse. Maybe I can call out sick now. No, it's going to be in the upper 70s right now. We are expecting those temperatures to heat up later in the afternoon. And as you mentioned, the big story weather-wise will come later in the week when we see those triple-digit temperatures. Where we are right here in the middle of the National Mall between the Capitol and the Washington Monument, there's really no shade, nowhere to hide. But there is an attraction to see, and that would be some baby sheep and baby goats that have been brought out here so people that do come out to the fair today can see firsthand what it's like to see what USDA is able to educate people on. These little guys all less than a year old, and for the folks that'll be coming out today, they'll not only be able to see them up close but learn about the lifestyle that these animals live. And of course they have to deal with weather way worse than what we have to. No air conditioning for them when they're out there on the farm. In terms of the weather, since you brought it up, I will mention when we were out here yesterday, we saw a number of people trying to find any shade that they could. It is not easy when it gets this hot here in the National Mall. There really are no trees in the main area where people can kind of go and rest under. It's kind of blocked off. Instead, it's kind of an up and down, just a long corridor. Instead, if people want to get some shade, Marissa, what they've been doing is going into the different states that have set up different little pavilions. So inside there's some air conditioning, potentially a place to sit down, any chance to take a little bit of a break. I have seen a number of the EMS personnel that were out yesterday going up and down the pavilion, making sure people were able to be okay to walk up and down. We didn't have any of the severe weather yesterday that we had over the weekend. They had to shut this area down on Sunday because of the storms that rolled through. No indication that we're going to see any of that weather today. But Marissa, for those folks who are coming out, yes, sunscreen, a big difference. That was something that I forgot yesterday, and my producer Nick did as well. We made sure to lather that on today because it's going to make a big difference when you're out in the sun all day. The folks that are coming out, because this thing opens at 10 a.m. just a few minutes from now, they were coming out early trying to beat the heat the best they could because they wanted to see it, but realizing it's not so much fun when it's in the 90s and 100s, and I can tell you that firsthand. Marissa?
Yeah, one of the things about being a reporter, especially in some of the smaller cities, is you tend to cover the state fair on a regular basis. So I've had my fair share of state fairs in New Mexico, Illinois, and I will say, if it's not hot and humid, then it's not a state fair. So I feel like it does in some way go hand in hand. But there's a lot of, I think, just so much joy and cultural joy that comes out of these state fairs. The goat has been so fun to listen to, Mark. The entire time you've been joining us, he's been making these little noises. But we also showed a quick view of that Ferris wheel. I don't know if you've been able to go on that.
Yeah, it's right behind me. Yeah, I can show you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so they want to see the Ferris wheel. So let me just show you. This is actually kind of the big attraction, Marissa, because that's what people have been lining up to. I haven't had a chance to go up there yet, but if we squeeze through here, you can see the state fair. You can see the Great American Ferris wheel straight back there behind that arch, and you can see it's not moving yet because this thing opens at 10 a.m. So once it does, I would imagine a number of people will be queuing up to get up there. But then you get a really cool view, not only just of the state fair itself, but the Washington Monument, the Capitol building, the FIFA zone, and this is going to be kind of ground zero. This is the main area. And then, Marissa, the best part, if you look to the left of the Ferris wheel itself, this is my favorite part, is the food hall, where there's ice cream, there's beer, there's merchandise. My producer yesterday scarfed down a pretzel within about 30 seconds. It was at least a decent spot to have to rest for a little bit. So yes, for those folks who are coming out here, if they want shade, if they don't want to be stuck in the sun, it's going to be that food hall, maybe the Ferris wheel, or maybe come see the goats as well.
It's all about
Marissa?
the food hall, or the food hall. Yeah, it's all about what the beverages. I'm a pretzel gal myself with mustard, not cheese. I know, and the ice cream. Ways to cool down. Being a little creative with that. Well, enjoy the day. Stay cool as best you can. I know Mother Nature isn't making it easy.
Will do.
Mark Meredith at the Great American State Fair in Washington, D.C. Thank you.